Märchenstunde heute.
Moo.
Mö.
Once the others are asleep, we'll find each other.
Nein. Und damit herzlich willkommen zurück zu Baldurs Gate. Wir starten wir mal direkt rein in unser Playthrough. Ja, letztes Mal haben wir ja den Auftrag des Pilzvolks hier vollendet. Nier, nicht getötet, nur seinen Kopf abgeschnitten. Für seinen Tod war er im Endeffekt etwas anderes verantwortlich. Und ja, hier unten hatten wir jetzt eigentlich gar keine anderen Aufträge mehr. Das heißt, wir gehen jetzt zurück an die Oberfläche. Ja, ich glaube, wir nutzen mal auch das erste Mal dann das Portal. Weil ich glaube, alle anderen Wege sind jetzt gerade ein bisschen weiter, um nach oben zu kommen. Gucken wir mal, wo wir uns hin teleportieren können, was Sinn ergibt. Können wir ja auch irgendwie zur Oberfläche wechseln? Ich meine, einige davon sind doch, glaube ich, auch an der Oberfläche, ne? Ja, hier steht ja, was Underdark ist. Emerald Grove? Ich weiß nicht, wo wir hinwollen, genau. Wie nah, wie weit sind wir jetzt von Sachen entfernt? Ja, ich glaube, wir wollen da oben hin. Ja, dann bleiben wir einfach mal hier und laufen jetzt da hoch. Falls man uns denn reinlässt.
The road to Baldur's Gate is a long one. Who knows how long it'll take these folks to get there on foot.
If they make it, they're slow, vulnerable. Half or more will die long before Basilisk Gate.
Okay, sie sind so nett und öffnen uns das Tor. Wollen wir mit ihm reden? Wahrscheinlich, ne?
A scout just reported. The goblins' leadership has been decimated. We might escape this place yet. I took a collection from all of us. It isn't much, but you've earned it.
Warum bin ich es Tyrion? Thank you.
It's not enough, but it's all we have.
Halsin will likely want to thank you too, mind. He returned just a while ago. I believe he's catching up with Korga. As for us...
No armies at our heels. Amazing. We can finally leave. But perhaps we need not speak of farewells. We'll join your camp tonight to celebrate if you'll have us.
We'll see you there. Warum bin ich es Tyrion? What the fuck? Vor allem ist der ganz unten gewesen.
My condition likes being ignored as little as I do. I must consume another artifact. And soon.
Hat er kein eigenes? Ja. Was haben wir denn hier so, was wir ihm geben können? Wahrscheinlich eins der Schwerter, die Shadowheart ja sowieso nicht verwenden kann. Ja, komm, gib ihm einfach das hier. Eins reicht doch, oder?
Thank you. Good gods. It hardly has any effect. Oh, Mistra, have mercy on us all. Listen, I need to speak to you, to all of you. It would be unconscionable of me to remain silent.
Go on, you're among friends.
I might just be about to remedy that. You have to know who I was. You have to know who I really am. What I am is a walking shadow of the promise I once held. I'm what one might call a wizard prodigy. Who from an early age could not only control the weave, but compose it. Much like a musician or a poet. Such was my skill that it earned me the attention of the mother of magic herself. The Lady of Mysteries. The goddess Mistra. She revealed herself to me and she became my teacher. In time she became my muse. And later even my lover.
Are you telling me you made love to a goddess?
Oh yes. We enjoyed each other's company. Body, mind, and soul. But even so, I desired more. You see, no matter how powerful a wizard we mortals can become, we never scratch more than the surface of the weave. Mistra keeps us in check. There are boundaries she doesn't let us cross. Yet, every time I was with her, I stood on the precipice, gazing into the wonders that lay beyond. I sought to cross her boundaries.
How exactly did you try to cross those boundaries?
I tried to convince her. I pouted. I pleaded. swore my ambition was only to serve her better. She only smiled and told me to be contented. But inconceivable as it seems to me now, I shared a bed with a goddess, and yet I wasn't satisfied. So I sought to prove myself worthy to her instead. We come now to the crux of my folly. Shall I share the story behind it, or would you rather head straight to its sordid finale?
I'm intrigued. Tell me all.
Very well.
Märchenstunde heute.
Here goes. Once upon a very long time ago, a mighty lord lived in a tower. A flying tower, to be precise. I'll save his history for another time, but the gist of it is that he sought to usurp the goddess of magic so that he could become a god himself. And he almost managed, but not quite. And his entire empire, Netheril, came crashing down around him as he turned to stone. The magic that was unleashed that day was phenomenal. Roiling like the prime chaos that outdates creation. Even the weave itself could not withstand the onslaught. It fractured, then shattered, and all magic was lost to the mortal realms, until the day Mistra returned. She restored the weave, reuniting all its scattered shards. Or so I thought. Until, in the course of my studies, I learned of a book. A Netherese tome in which a piece of the fractured weave had been sealed beyond her reach. What if, I thought, what if, after all this time, I could return this lost part of herself to the goddess?
What was the answer to that question?
The answer was to try. And the outcome was to fail. I was certain that this deed of raw power, draped in romance, would convince Mistra to take me by the hand and welcome me into her hitherto forbidden domains. I was mistaken. I obtained the fabled book and took it into my study. As for what happened next... Here. Place your hand over my heart. Let me show you.
You feel the tadpole quiver as you realize Gale is letting you into the dark. You see through Gale's eyes, staring down the corridors of a dread memory. A book bound and suddenly opened. Inside there are no pages, only a swirling mass of blackest weave that pounces. Its teeth, its claws, it's unstoppable as it digs through and becomes part of you. And gods, is it ever hungry.
What is it? What do you see?
Oh, are you still alive?
Thankfully, the moment I absorbed the fragment wasn't enough to kill me outright. It was only the beginning. This Netherese blight, this orb, for lack of a better word, is balled up inside my chest. And it needs to be fed. As long as I absorb traces of the weave from potent enough sources, it remains quiet. Were it ever to fully destabilize, however,
Go on.
I will erupt. I don't know the exact magnitude of the eruption, but given my studies of Netherese magic, I'd say even a fragment as small as the one I carry, it'd level a city the size of Waterdeep.
Is there nothing we can do?
Might chance upon a king's collection of magical artifacts around the corner. We might cross paths with a miracle round the bend. Then again, we might not. All of this, it must feel like a betrayal. Say the word, and we'll part ways.
Der Typ hat größere Probleme als das Tadpole, ey. I would hear what the others say first.
You'd have us debate that Netherese Jack-in-the-Box should be a blip on the horizon by now.
I'm in two minds. And frankly, don't care a great deal. Either decision is fine by me.
We've come this far together and we'll continue on together. That is how it will be.
That is a great relief. Oh, a great relief indeed. You truly are a soul that steals my own. From all my new rallied heart, I thank you. I thank you all. I understand if you stand against me. I'm humbled if you stand with me. Either way, I will do my best not to let you down. I stand at a precipice, but if you do not give up hope, neither shall I. I'll fight. I'll resist as long as I can. Now, even I am tired of the sound of my own voice. Let us venture forth.
Gut, haben wir das auch geklärt? Ja, dann treffen wir jetzt mal Herzen. Wir könnten auch noch eine neue Illicit Power lernen. Was haben wir denn da so? Ich meine, wir haben sie ja noch nie so wirklich genutzt. Gibt es vielleicht irgendwelche sinnvollen Passiven? Gibt gerade irgendwie nichts Sinnvolles, was ich noch lernen könnte. Das einzige vielleicht hier, Psionic Backlash. Ja, machen wir das mal. Zack, ab ins Gehirn damit. Wunderschön. Okay. Haben wir das gerade aktiv? Anscheinend ja. Hallo Ochse.
You're addressing me, a humble ox. How quaint.
Bist du ein Druide? Arcana, there's something strange about this ox. What is it? Ja gut. Kriegen ja ein bisschen Bonus.
Something's off. This creature isn't what it appears to be.
There's more to you than meets the eye. Care to explain?
No, you are incapable.
Was soll das denn heißen? Persuasion. Come on, old chap. I'm a devil for gossip. Schon wieder nur 7.
I'll tell you this much. I'm going to Baldur's Gate, with or without the rest of these poor sods. Now, that's all I have to say besides, and I really mean this. Moo.
Moo. Okay. Vielleicht treffen wir den Ochsen ja später nochmal. Was haben wir hier so drin? Wow. Ein einzelnes Goldstück hat sich ja richtig gelohnt. Oh, hier, die Sachen sind wieder Diebstahl. Müssen Sie aufpassen. Na gut, hier leben ja auch die Druiden. Ja, wobei hier wieder nicht. Okay, sehr merkwürdig. Naja, whatever. Guten Tag, Halcyon.
You took it upon yourself to undertake the Rite of Thorns. I ought to exile you from this place. Forever. Instead, I shall listen to the explanation that you owe me.
I owe you nothing. Goblins swarmed us like roaches while you stumbled after the past. You chose to abandon us. I chose to protect us.
Silence! The rite has been ended. I will allow you to stay, but consider yourself a novice anew. You have forgotten the ways of the druids, our place in the natural order. You shall learn it all once again, right here. Backslide, and nature's fury will crush you.
As you wish, Master Halcyon.
You are too lenient. There's bad blood between tieflings and druids because of her.
Spilled blood will not right bad blood. Allow me to deal with my own. I still have need of her. You will soon see why. But enough of that for now. I owe you my thanks. The grove stands. Nature prevails. And again, I am in your debt. Speak to Wrath. He will reward you for your efforts.
What about my problem? I need help.
Tomorrow morning, we shall discuss what is to come.
Okay. Was macht der Vogel da?
Like a good moment to talk.
Shh, I'm concentrating. Does this
Ja,
look
Schlüssel.
good? Is the coin in the middle?
Deception, I'd leave it out, it's too dull.
Yeah, you're right. This is better.
Erstmal alles nehmen, was wir hier so haben. Magnifying Glass, Drill und den Shiny Key natürlich. Ganz wichtig. Ich weiß zwar nicht, was für ein Schlüssel das ist, aber ich habe ihn jetzt. So, mit wem soll ich jetzt sprechen? Da ist Wrath, yes.
You done it. You brought Halcyon back. Thank you. No, thanks is not enough. May Sylvanus bless you for all your days. I cannot imagine taking on a camp full of goblins was a simple task.
Ach, ja. For someone like me, it was pretty simple actually. Ich hatte ja so ein Ungerhorn.
I should not have underestimated you. And I promised you a reward, didn't I? Let me show you on your map where you can find the cache. Take this rune. You'll need it. Place it among the pedestals inside our library. When the wolf glows brightest, everything in the vault below will be yours.
Okay. Okay, hier scheint der Eingang zu sein. Rune of Eagle, Rune of Bear, Empty Socket, Rune of Elk. I guess, hier muss ich das reinlegen. Oder nicht? Hm. Okay, das war einfacher als gedacht. Ich dachte, ich müsste hier noch rumpuzzeln. So, was haben wir denn hier so? Ein Buch. Und ein paar Tränke, ja, die nehmen wir doch gerne mit. Ein paar Scrolls für Gale. Scheint ja schon mal nicht schlecht zu sein, was man hier so alles findet. Sorrow, was ist das? Ein Speer. Kann Shadowheart mit Speeren umgehen? Wahrscheinlich nicht, würde ich mal von ausgehen. Aber wir gucken mal. Oh, steht nicht, dass sie nicht whatever hier wäre. Proficient, so. Sollen wir sie mal zu Speer equippen? Ja, dadurch kriegt sie Main Hand Attack, ja gut, klar. Brace. Und Lacerate. Slash at your target's vital points to make it bleed. Rope of Summer. Grants resistant to cold damage. Gale, kannst du das equippen? Ist auf jeden Fall besser als seine Standardrobe. Und sieht sogar einigermaßen schick aus. Das scheint es aber gewesen zu sein hier. Ja gut, war ja auch mehr als genug. Also, gut, man kann nie genug haben, aber es war einiges. Was haben wir hier?
A parasite, brimming with magic. Take it.
Wo? Hier bei ihm? Hier ist ja keiner, ne? Da vorne ist der Vogel, aber der wird mich wahrscheinlich nicht sehen. Okay, ne, der nicht. Hä, wer hatte... Wo hast du einen Parasite gesehen? Die haben wir ja gesehen, aber wo zur Hölle hast du einen Parasite gesehen? Da oben ist eine verschlossene Truhe. Okay, Assyrian. Dann disarm das doch mal. Was haben wir hier? Nature's Snare. Ist ja schon besser als deiner. Dann equip den doch einfach mal. Sieht doch auch schick aus. Rune of the Eagle. Okay. Ich gehe mal davon aus, dass es richtig ist, dass wir den disablen. Key of the Ancients. Okay, nimm es einfach mal mit. Das haben wir schon mal disabled. Können wir hier irgendwie rüber? Also nicht einfach so. Können wir hier hochspringen? Ja, können wir. Ganz ruhig da. Jetzt aber schnell hier. Ah, es greift mich an. Deaktivier's. Oh, er hat einen Schlüssel. Ich habe ehrlich gesagt keine Ahnung, wo wir hier sind oder was wir hier machen. Aber ja, wir nehmen einfach mal alles mit, was wir so finden können. Ich frage mich immer noch, wo sie einen Parasite gesehen hat. Ich habe nämlich keinen gesehen. Aber ich will trotzdem noch mal runter in das Grove-Ding da, weil irgendwo da wurde ja anscheinend ein Parasite gesehen. Und den würde ich schon gerne haben. Idol of Sylvanus. Erstmal klauen. Bin mir aber auch nicht sicher, wo sie das gesehen haben könnte. Ach, da. Ja, wunderbar. Und jetzt? Was haben wir denn hier noch so für Sachen? Stage Fright wäre was. Ja, machen wir erstmal dieses Psionic Overload hier. Dann können wir eventuell danach dieses Stage Fright nehmen oder so. Dann haben wir nur noch eine Quest hier. Und die wäre irgendwelche Eltern finden. Ich weiß nicht, ob wir irgendeinen Hinweis drauf haben. Wir gucken erstmal, wo uns die Quest hinführt. Achso, nee, wir müssen erstmal eine Rest angehen, weil wir ja mit dem Druiden sprechen wollen und abends mit den Leuten feiern, ne? Die Quest wäre ansonsten... Weiß ich gar nicht wo hier. Ich sehe sie gerade nicht. Ja gut, machen wir erstmal hier eine Rest. Es wird gefeiert. Tyrion hat was zu sagen.
You know, I never pictured myself as a hero. Never thought I'd be the one they'd toast for saving so many lives. And now that I'm here...
Wir sollten uns unbedingt mal waschen.
This is awful.
What? You did a good thing. Suck it up and enjoy yourself.
Enjoy myself? There's a worm in my brain. I'm surrounded by idiots and all I've got to drink is wine that tastes like vinegar.
Relax, all your problems will still be there in the morning.
That means I have to survive tonight. And this party. All I want is a little fun. Is that so much to ask?
And what's your idea of a little fun?
By the hells. Sex, my dear. A night of passion. Let's wait until things quieten down. Once the others are asleep, we'll find each other.
Nein. On second thoughts, maybe not.
Never listen to your second thoughts. They always spoil the fun.
Meine first thoughts sind genau die gleichen.
If you're determined to ruin your evening, I won't stop you.
Asterion, du hast ein falsches Bild von uns. Auf eine oder andere Weise.
Think of it. No more caves, no more tents, no more running away. We'll be in a city with roads and markets and homes.
Wunderschön. Wo ist denn der Anführer von denen hier? War das Savlor? Es war Savlor, oder?
You have no idea how good it feels to see these people smiling. The singing we could probably do without, but even so, thank you.
Paulson.
Go on now. Don't waste a night like this talking to me. We'll discuss your problem tomorrow.
I thought you might care to have a drink with me.
In truth, I rarely imbibe. The stuff goes right to my head. Before you know it, I'd be breaking into song or declaring love to the first person I laid eyes on.
Klingt doch nicht schlecht. I fail to see the problem.
And you have never heard me singing, which makes you very fortunate.
Warum bin ich hinter dem Busch? We'll talk another time.
Enjoy yourself. Seek out some wine before it runs dry. There are a lot of thirsty people around here.
Obwohl, Lolo, was ist mit ihm hier?
Aha, there you are. Come now, settle in. I do hope you have partaken of something bracing. This may well take us all night.
And by this, you mean?
Why, you're naming, quite obviously. That ballad was but a crude preview, a frame without its crowning jewel. Your nom de guerre. Something iconic, but not too much of a mouthful. We don't want to exclude the common folk, after all.
Oh God.
I intend this tale to enrapture all.
I already have a name.
A wonderful one indeed. But your deeds loom larger than life now, my friend. You simply must have a title to match.
Goblin's Bane hört sich irgendwie komisch an. Wolothem Gedar. What the fuck? What about Grovekeeper?
Grovekeeper? Are you a gardener? We aim to cultivate mystery, not shrubbery. No, your actions in the grove were most heroic. But I'm afraid this is a matter of style, not sentiment. Back to the revelry with you. I'll give the matter some thought in small council.
Let's make
Ja gut, lass mal mit den Leuten reden. Wir haben ja sowieso schon Geschichtsstunde hier und ich wollte das ja sowieso mal angehen.
Enjoy yourself. You've earned a night of revelry.
Okay, Gale hat nichts zu sagen heute. Wie sieht's mit Shadowheart aus?
Everyone seems to be in high spirits. Strange. You know who I never thought I'd find myself caring for?
Let me guess, yourself?
I think you'll find I've been showing ample concern for myself since the moment we met.
Well...
I mean, desperate people. Like those refugees. Never gave them much thought. Certainly not that bunch in the grove. Yet we came through for them. We saved their lives. Odd.
Alter. Ich so voller Blut. Not so odd, we did the right thing.
That's more easily said by some than others. But nobody's here to debate right from wrong. We should have had wine more often. More warming than the fire. We should have had wine more often. More warming than the fire.
Okay, sie hat anscheinend nichts mehr zu sagen auch. Schade, wir können jetzt nicht mit allen Charakteren einfach so sprechen nach dem Thema, ja... Ich finde das auch interessant, dass mein Imp bei Carla rumhängt. Was die sonst zu sagen haben, aber naja.
Look at this place. All these people happy because of us. It's nice to be somewhere where good is still possible. And with good potations too.
Are you enjoying yourself?
Fuck yes. I'm celebrating my freedom and our friendship and these folks' bright future besides. All I need now is a fire-retardant lover to get lost in till sunrise.
Did you have parties like this in Avaranus?
Not so much. You spend the whole time avoiding swords and schemes. Plus, people just get nastier as the night wears on. I tried to make friends at first. Learned my lesson fast. Better to keep to yourself in hell.
Kommt drauf an. Ja, enjoy yourself tonight, Carla.
You too, soldier. Enjoy yourself tonight. You've earned it.
Gibt's hier sonst noch irgendwen, mit dem wir reden wollen würden? Was ist mit ihr hier?
This might be the wine talking, but I'm feeling inspired. Thinking of writing my next song about you. But I need an angle. Any ideas?
Hi, half-elf. Maybe a song about my mixed heritage? It's a point of pride for me.
Absolutely. With a foot in two worlds, you're the force joining both. You're going to love it.
Hope you're enjoying the night, hero. I certainly am. Cheers to many more like this.
Okay, die anderen haben sonst echt nichts mehr zu sagen. Maul, wer ist Maul? Ein Kind.
You came through for us. That's a change from most adults I know.
Don't be so harsh on your elders.
I'm not. I'm glad they can celebrate before we've even got to the gate. Just like I'll be glad to be rid of them once we're there.
What the fuck? Wo ist eigentlich Dingsterboomster hier? Da unten ist er, Will. Den habe ich gesucht. Ich wusste doch, irgendwer fehlt in unserem Camp. Hallo, Will.
Yeah, hells. I was hoping you wouldn't notice I was gone.
Passend. Are you alright?
I'm deeply proud of you. A touch less so of myself. In truth, I don't feel in a festive mood, and I didn't want to cast a grey cloud over the night. I'm a devil. I love the people from the grove, but I unsettle them deep down, as I seem to unsettle everyone nowadays. You don't want a devil at your party.
Wieso? Karlach macht da auch voll die Stimmung.
We'll pop the balloons, you see, and the guests won't take kindly to scars quite so monstrous.
You just have some fetching horns. I'm envious.
Ouch. You don't need to mock me when I'm feeling low. But off with you. This is your day. Have a dance. Enjoy the music.
I wish you were there, but I respect your need for peace. I want to dance
Sometime
with you
alone
schon wieder ein
beneath the
bisschen
stars,
zu
and
weit.
I'll be back to my old self. Promise. Still, it's a night to remember. You've made sure of that.
Ja gut, gehen wir schlafen. Wobei, hat der hier irgendwas dazu zu sagen oder ist der einfach so, ja, ich mache hier meinen Job?
Not this one, nor this one, and this one are less worthy still.
What are you doing?
Righting the balance. Beyond mortal realms, there doth exist an amalgamation of spirits akin to thine own, ensnared by the treacherous cult of the Absolute, felled in its name. They bear great discontentment with their destiny. For a mere pittance of coin, I might summon the worthiest among them to lend aid to thy undertaking.
Will these hirelings be joining me willingly?
Most willingly, forsooth. Their passions doth run deep for what hath been wrought upon them.
I would like to talk about hirelings.
Very well.
Okay, ich kann mir keinen direkt aussuchen, das habe ich mir jetzt gerade ein bisschen anders vorgestellt. Okay, I'd like to talk about something else. Do you think I can trust these cultists?
Suspicion always haunts the guilty mind. My services are all that I can proffer thee. What thou wilt do with them is for thee to undertake.
Okay, dann gehen wir jetzt aber ins Bett hier. Full rest.
Buzz of celebration quiets to a soothing hum as you approach your bunk. You've picked up a few pleasant memories on your journey amongst your struggles.
Warum gibt's hier keine dritte Option? Try to push twisting thoughts of Shadowheart from your mind and seek sleep.
Her mind is certainly an enigma, but would you wish it any other way?
I trust you enjoyed your evening. After all your efforts, it was well deserved. It
Immer
may be
hinter diesen
some
Büschen.
time before you're afforded another such night. There is much to be done, and I promised I would help you however I could. I'm certain a cure for you can be found at Moonrise Towers, but it's complicated. The journey specifically, it's extremely perilous, though it seems you're well accustomed to navigating danger.
Finally, we're catching up on our puppet master, and the hunt ends at Moonrise Towers.
Push. What's so dangerous about it?
To get to the towers, you'll need to pass through a terrible place. A cursed place. This curse shrouds everything in shadow. You will not find life, light, or anything natural there. Any who linger are twisted by the curse. They become shadow beings, tormented, dangerous souls.
Also brauchen wir sehr viel heiliges Licht. What do you suggest?
You could go overland, along the Risen Road or through the mountains. Easier at first, but you'll run into the shadow curse eventually. You could also go under. There is a tunnel somewhere in the ruined Temple of Selûne. It leads to Moonrise Towers through the Underdark. Long ago, a man called Ketheric Thorm built a secret stronghold deep down there, before rallying a whole army of Dark Justiciars, Shah worshippers.
Dark Justiciars. I must see for myself.
Aradin and his lot were looking for a way down there. They were promised riches if they retrieved a relic called the Night Song. But I think there's more. From this stronghold, Ketheric's forces could access both the Temple of Selûne and Moonrise Towers. But he was defeated before he could launch an attack. If you can find this place, I'll wager it will reveal a more direct path to Moonrise Towers. And maybe even bypass the worst of the Shadow Curse.
Das klingt eigentlich nicht schlecht. I already found the place you're talking about. It's called Grimforge.
You've already been? Impressive. You'll make me redundant at this rate. What did you find?
Absolute followers, but that's about all.
Keep looking. If they're present, then it's likely there's a route to Moonrise somewhere. It may prove impossible to avoid the Shadow Curse entirely. But if you find any way to limit your exposure, seize it. I would like to join your camp, if you'll allow me. I can offer my skills, my counsel. I've long sought to return to Moonrise Towers. It seems our fates have aligned.
Let's go then.
May Sylvanus guide us.
So, können wir jetzt noch ein bisschen mit den Leuten hier reden? Wir sind ja sowieso gerade in Geschichtsstunde.
Sir Gale's been walking around this whole time with some sort of magic bomb in his chest. I'm not normally one to begrudge someone their secrets, but that's something I should know.
That artifact seems to be protecting us somehow. Do you still have it?
Quite the understatement, but yes, I have it. And I'll guard it with my life.
Curious that you just have to happen and to have an item that can protect us. How did you come by it?
I was part of a group sent by my cloister. We were to take the artifact from the Githyanki and bring it to Baldur's Gate, no matter the cost. Though it turned out the cost was very steep. I was the only one of the group to survive. I took the artifact and fled, only to be ensnared by mind flayers before I could finish the mission. That's all I know. That's all I need to know.
How can you go to all this trouble and not understand why?
I told you already. I surrendered my memories for the sake of the mission. Shah's secrets must be protected. Duty demands it. Once I fulfill my mission, I can have my memories restored.
Das ist aber keine richtige Antwort auf die Frage, aber gut. Admirable conviction, though I think I'd prefer to know what I was getting myself into. Let the matter drop, sie will ja anscheinend nicht drüber reden, ja. You seemed intrigued when Halcyon mentioned Dark Justicars before.
I was. He mentioned Dark Justiciars, and we've come across other signs of a Sharan presence during our travels. I'm not sure I can dismiss that as a coincidence.
Your wound is causing you too much pain, Shadowheart. There must be a way to heal it.
Pain is the gauntlet that all who love Lady Shah must endure. Only her embrace can truly heal me. To try and salve myself would do nothing but shame me in the Night Singer's eyes.
You shouldn't have to suffer in order to be true to your faith. Anscheinend schon. Inspired sind wir, glaube ich, auch nicht mehr, oder?
Everyone has to suffer. It's a fact of life. Until Lady Shah deems it is time. I know you mean well, but this isn't something for you to fix.
You and I, we share something special, I think. I want to talk about it.
Very serious of you. But go ahead.
How are you faring? Admit it, you've never had a relationship quite like this one, have you?
Even if I could remember, I'm not sure I'd tell you. I don't want your ego to get overinflated.
I want to talk about all that's happened to us.
Fine. What's on your mind?
How am I holding up in your estimations?
Quite splendidly, to give credit where it's due. You and I have shared some good times together, and it seems we have plenty in common.
What do you think about what happened to the druid?
I suppose some would commend our actions. Goblins would have razed that whole place to nothing if it weren't for us. No excuse to rest on our laurels, though. We've still got our own problems to contend with.
Turn to other matters. Ja, über Shah möchte sie ja nicht so gerne reden oder nicht so viel, habe ich das Gefühl. Reden wir mal mit Gale.
What's on your mind?
I never realized it was so easy to cast magic.
It's not. Don't get me wrong. You did well. The somatic component, the verbal component, even the focus on the inner self that invites Mystra in. But I was still your conduit. To perform such a feat alone requires much and arduous study. Of course, as a warlock, your patron endows you with many such powers, otherwise unattainable. I do hope you cherish that gift.
I was wondering about the mighty lord you told me about in your story.
Ah, yes. Karsus. Karsus was perhaps the most powerful wizard that ever lived. The child who would be a god, the elves called him. And he tried. With a spell of his own devising, he endeavored to usurp in one fell swoop the power of the goddess of magic. Mistril, she was called then. Imagine what it must have felt like. To be a god. To know yourself, to be untouchable. To be mistaken. As Karsus, aimed his spell at her, she began to unravel, and with her, the entire weave. Too late did he realize what he had unleashed. It would have been the end of everything had not Mistral sacrificed herself. The goddess of magic is all magic. By dying, the entire weave was lost, and the spell that challenged a god failed. It was the end of Mistral, the end of Karsus, and the end of an entire civilization. As the child who would be a god was turned to stone, his empire came crashing down around him. The floating cities of Netheril were no more, an event that came to be known as Karsus's folly.
So at that moment in time, all magic was gone.
For a spell, Mistral was reborn as Mistra. Upon her return, the weave returned with her. Now, so many centuries later, I try to follow in the footsteps of Karsus. Not to destroy Mistra, but to prove my love for her. I tried to control only a fraction of the magic that was unleashed that fateful day. I merely sought to return one tiny diamond to an imperfect crown. Gale's folly, one might call it. History, repetition. It's the way things go.
If you ever feel the Netherese magic overtaking you, what will you do?
If it should ever come to that, if I ever know I am no longer able to stop it, I will do anything I can to ensure no one but me pays for my mistakes. I will find the remotest place on the surface of Faerun, or perhaps far below in the depths of the Underdark. I will await that death, alone. I promise I will not betray your trust. You kept me by your side despite the menace that I am. If worst comes to worst, I will be long gone before the curtain falls.
Na gut. Mysterion, wo bist du?
To think, Gales had this devastating all within himself the entire time, and only just mentioned it. Who'd keep a secret like that from his friends? You can't trust anyone these days.
Sagt der Vampir. How does someone become a vampire exactly?
It's
Wink,
simple.
wink.
Just find a vampire that will drink your blood and turn you into a vampire spawn. Their obedient puppet. In theory, the next step is to drink their blood. Once you've done that, you're free and a true vampire.
In theory?
People think the biggest threat to a vampire is a cleric with a stake. It's not. The biggest threat to a vampire is another vampire. They're scheming, paranoid, power-hungry beasts. So why would any vampire give up control over a spawn to create a competitor? Trust me, it doesn't happen.
Tell me about your history.
Why do you insist on exhuming the past? I was a slave. A vampire spawn. Kept by the Tsar family. Perhaps I still am. I was never able to resist their commands. But now, I've been conveniently lost. They won't ever control me again.
What do you think is waiting for us at Moonrise Tower?
Who knows? Drow? Mind flayers? Death? Hopefully not ours. But maybe answers. If we can convince the right people to talk.
Na gut. Darüber, wie er mich gebissen hat, möchte ich nicht wirklich reden. Das war awkward genug. Hallo Hündchen, du musst noch gestreichelt werden.
Hope you're keeping well, friend.
Pet him. Ja, und ich glaube, damit machen wir auch erstmal Pause. Es ist zwar heute nicht so viel passiert, aber wir haben hier sehr viel Story gehört. Und ja, das hatte ich sowieso mal vor, aus dem Weg zu schaffen. Und hat sich ja ganz angeboten mit der ganzen Story, die wir sowieso schon gehört haben, aufgrund der abgegebenen Quests und vollfüllten Aufgaben und so weiter. Gut. Und damit bedanke ich mich wie immer fürs Reinschalten. Wünsche euch allen noch einen wunderschönen Abend, eine wunderschöne Nacht oder wann auch immer ihr dieses Video sehen solltet, einen wunderschönen Tag im Allgemeinen. Dann bis zum nächsten Mal bei Baldur's Gate. Bis dahin. Bye bye.